Back on. Welcome to Health and Beauty Chat with the sisters. And today we're going to talk about let's shred some toxins. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about. So Rene is our host today. So I give the floor to you, Rene. And I forgot to say something. This is where our goal here is to inspire healthy living and helping you to make a simple change, one simple change at a time, okay? So that you could be the best version of yourself as far as your health is concerned and your inner beauty, as well as your outer beauty, because it affects everything. And also for your family. So Rene, with no further ado, let's get started.
Yes, welcome. And we know anytime we're trying to make changes, the first thing we need to fight against is having that willpower. Our willpower sometimes is our worst enemy. So how do we empower it? And why do we even need it? We know that we're bombarded by things like advertising. Look at all of these different things. You could be watching TV, you could be walking down the street, and you're bombarded by advertising and smells of things, of food that you really wish you liked. But there's another thing that we're also bombarded by, and that's by environmental and personal stress. How many of us are stressed or emotional eaters, right? The next thing is that we have that second brain. I think it's the enteric brain, right, Michelle?
Yes,
that
right.
Enteric brain, and we actually train that brain because we want to eat stuff, right, that we kind of conditioned ourselves to have, that sweet in the morning or that sweet when we're tired. But what do we actually need? There's three actually basic things that we need if we want to increase our willpower. And that first one is shown right here, is getting the proper amount of rest. Think about it. If we're being sucked into the sweet shop, so to speak, because we're tired, if we get our rest in the evenings, like when our body is supposed to be shutting down and readjusting all our guts and all the things are working the way it needs to work, then we'll be less apt, and that will increase our willpower. The second thing we need to do is to make sure that we address our stress, because how many of us, as I mentioned, with that environmental stresses that we're putting on ourselves, sometimes it's even from stress from job. We got COVID going around now. We've got, whether you may be facing layoffs or being overworked because half your coworkers are sick. So either way, we have these stresses. Deal with them in a way that's going to be relaxing to you. Some people need a nice massage. Some people do their nails or their feet, like Michelle says she enjoys. Mine is get into a nice tub of bath, but do something that's going to be nice and relaxing for yourself, right? And the third way we need to do it is we need to make sure that our diet is being addressed. Eat more fruits and vegetables. By doing that, by eating the proper amount of fruit and vegetables, well, that's going to give our body exactly what it needs so that we can fight against those things. I love this video that we're about to see, because it's going to help us to see how some healthcare professionals see that we need to have more fruits and vegetables or plants to make us healthier. Michelle, would you go ahead and cue up that video?
Absolutely. If it wants to play. Wow. Let's see. Of course.
You gotta click it from the bottom. Just add it to the stream from the bottom.
I did. Huh. Guess what? It's not. Now, y'all know that we practiced this and it worked.
And this is, sometimes that happens. I got it.
For the power of food. Being raised in Ohio, meat and potatoes country, we so undervalue what we're putting in our mouths. And people don't realize that food is either your best drug or your worst drug. And until we start eating more fruits and vegetables, real food, we're not going to get healthier.
Whole food, plant-based nutrition. It works. You want stronger muscles, stronger bones? You want to run faster, jump higher? More fruits and vegetables, berries and grains. That's the key.
I tell my athletes all the time, you're a high-level athlete and you're like a sports car. So if you have an expensive sports car, would you call that fuel on your plate right now, that burger and fries? Would you call that premium fuel for your sports car body? And they all go, no. So my challenge is to take people who walk into my office thinking they're absolutely healthy because they exercise or they're an athlete, and to rearrange their thinking and to say, look, you may be physically fit, but you're not healthy. You know, you're still broken down, you're getting sick all the time because your exercise is not being protected by the fuel that you put in it.
Of course, what we know to be true too is color and variety. Yeah. And we'll talk to our patients about this, and they're like, Doc, you know, I eat a salad every day. You know, and that's great. Good for you, but you know, when you hit that salad bar, get as much color and variety as you can. Because I have some patients in their head, they think I've got it covered, and they maybe have a banana for breakfast and maybe a tall salad for lunch, and they think I'm doing good, and it's just scratching the surface.
And I keep on going back to that education and empowerment, because I think, honestly, the more we start educating people and then making those foods fun and delicious, making smoothies, making whole food, plant-based, you know, meals that taste actually great. You come to my house, you're not going to eat meat and you're not going to miss it. And you're going to feel full. And I tell people, you're going to have a movement of some sort, okay? Mentally, emotionally, and physically. Yes.
We live in a completely different world, I feel like, than when I was born. I remembered when my mom bought Twinkies and brought them home for the first time. And I've got a Twinkie that's about 8 years old. And you can't tell that it's not a fresh Twinkie until you touch it and it's hard as a rock. So we have more toxic ingredients in our food, but also in the air we breathe and the water we drink. We need even more fruits and vegetables than the minimum that's recommended by the government in order to handle all of that.
Why do you think the recommendations of how many servings of fruits and vegetables we should eat has gone from 5 to 7 to 9 to 13? I mean, it just continues to grow because the research of what fruits and vegetables do in our body and the science is so profound, so it's not new. I mean, people still think of it sometimes. They're shocked, like, oh, what are you telling me? And I'm like, it's been around since before me.
Yeah.
So.
I think science completely backs over and over again the importance of a whole food, plant-based diet.
And we know it's proven from the research. You know, we have the American Cancer Society, the American Heart Association, the CDC is telling us to eat more fruits and vegetables. So we know it works. It's just a matter of us as healthcare professionals empowering those people to make the right decisions.
That was excellent, wasn't it?
Yes.
Alrighty.
All right. So then we think about it. How key is it? Well, the role of fruits and vegetables in our diet allows us to cleanse instead of just losing weight by means of dieting and exercising. And this graph or this little diagram helps us to see what the difference is. On the top part, it helps us to see when we burn fat because we are dieting or over exercising. Yeah, we'll get some fat off, but notice those little dots on the little man, those are like stored fat. And what that is when our bodies are made so wonderfully that when we have toxins in our system or, you know, different things that our body doesn't recognize, it wraps them with fat to protect our vital organs. So when we just hurry up and we get off the weight, but we're not addressing our nutrition, notice the weight is gone, but you see those little dots, the impurities or the toxins are still in there. So what happens when we give our body enough fuel to make more fat? Well, the fat's going to just wrap around those impurities. It's going to be like, oh no, I've got to. So that's why you get all that rebound. It's going to keep that fat, that cycle going because it's going to keep trying to protect itself. Whereas look at the bottom. At the bottom, it's not just a matter of storing the fat or releasing, just shedding the fat, but you're shedding it along with trying to cleanse the body from the impurities. So not only is fat being lost, but you're shredding toxins. And that's the beauty of the detox. For the shred that we are talking about is because by adding those extra fruits and vegetables into your diet, you're allowing your body to actually push out those impurities. So then you have less rebound because you're continually eating the stuff, eating cleanly, so your body doesn't have to react to protect itself, right? So isn't that wonderful? Michelle, can you just give us like a brief look at the picture? I mean, a picture says 1,000 words, right? Look at the changes that were made in a short period of time where Michelle was able to not only shred the fat, but look at her now. You can see her live. It's been permanent, right? And that's the beauty of it, right? And why is that? That's the power of what, 45 fruits and vegetables, as the next slide mentions. These 45 whole plant foods are filled with plant power, and they work together to really do what this next video is going to show us. And I'll try to share that video.
I have here.
You got it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we actually grow a lot of these products very close to the factory, we can preserve the freshness. They can be harvested and processed within just a couple hours of when they come out of the field, as opposed to maybe some of the produce you might buy in the store where it has to go through trucking and shipping and a lot of different steps to be available to you. These processes that we do are done just within a few hours of when the product's harvested.
From the farm through our plant, the fresh product actually only takes about 6 hours. When the product arrives at our farm processing plant, the product is tumbled, washed, and cleaned. The clean product is then laid out over the processing belt and slowly moved through zero air. When we're doing that, we're able to freeze the product and preserve all the freshness of the product, just as if it was from the field.
The sooner you can lower the temperature and control the temperature, the more you can lock in the nutrients.
When Juice Plus is looking for nutritional quality, color is very important.
Most people associate a dark red cranberry as a sign of the ripeness of that fruit.
Freshness is very important. There's a very short amount of time from when they're harvested to when they're frozen, locking in the freshness and nutrients.
While we're producing the Juice Plus powders, they have very high standards for the purity of their powders, what can go into their powders. They also have tight controls over their supply lines. They know which farms it comes from, and they have a good control over that. Also, when the products are produced, they have certain steps throughout the process for safety and purity. My favorite part of working with Juice Plus is knowing that people are benefiting from what we're doing. We put a lot of work into how we grow our ingredients and how we process them so that they're safe and high quality and nutritious. It's neat to see the results of that by seeing the customers that use them and seeing their lives improved from some of the healthy ingredients and produce that we process.
Nice. Awesome.
Yes. So just imagine being able to have all of those fruits and vegetables in your body. It's very fresh, organic, the best, highest quality that you can have in these whole food capsules that we'll get into later at a different thing. But because of that, rather than going up and down with the sugary treats, we stay within that zone of willpower. And that's helped with our shakes that we have that we can discuss with y'all on a later date. But all of these things work together. So don't just keep trying to I'm going to work off this weight. Oh, I'm going to just eat a salad every day and drink some water. And that's all you're going to eat. You're not giving your body everything it needs. And so it's not going to work for you. So Michelle, what do they need to do?
Okay, so I hope this information was helpful. We try to keep this presentation no more than 15 minutes. So I hope it was informative, but the choice is yours as to what you want to do. So one, we hope the discussion encourages you to eat more fruits and vegetables. So at least you'll begin to make that change, right? The other choice you have, if you're ready, you're like, you know what, this sounds really interesting. I think I'm going to give this a try. You want to make real changes. I invite you to begin with just one simple change. And what's beautiful for the rest of January. We had it for the whole month of January. We are offering the New Year, New You. It's our Protective Plus bundle. You get 10% off of a 4-month supply. So you have an opportunity to jumpstart your health with a one-time 4-month supply to try it. Try it and see what happens. I guarantee it's going to work if you follow the program. And it's very simple. We also are going to, Rene and I both are going to offer you 15 servings of complete shakes complimentary because we value and we appreciate you for trusting us, right? Trusting Juice Plus and giving it a try to jumpstart your health for you and your family. So we're giving that to you, and the only charge is going to be for shipping, the cost of the actual shipping for those complete shakes. So reach out to us. You can reach me at michelle@healthystartjp@gmail.com. You can also DM me on my IG account, healthystart@gmail, or you can reach out to Rene on her YouTube, Supercharge Your Health. So have an amazing rest of your night. I know we're going to shower and get ourselves in the bed to get ready for work, but thanks for listening. Hit replay. Let us know what you thought, and let us know if you have any questions. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Better health to you, darling.